Good morning, self. I'm starting this video in anticipation that I will begin to lay out some of my thoughts with regard to the development of the self along the spiritual path. To share them not just for current consumption, but for those that come after. My purpose in traveling the spiritual path was never to take it out to the world and be a world teacher, but it was to develop myself. Unfortunately, along the way, my ego got in the way and got me believing that I had something important for others. Well, and that sort of created an energetic feedback that had me chasing those that for whom I was going to share, with whom I was going to share it, rather than the actually focusing on the content. Though, if you look at the material I've created both the blogs and the my various websites, as well as the videos and podcasts. I've set forth elements periodically over time, and this is going to be a continuation of that. These are breadcrumbs, actually, that I'm leaving. And those breadcrumbs are intended as much for my own benefit, to make some of these ideas concrete and to be able to articulate them as they are, to assist you, whoever you are watching this, in your own self-development. Again, the perspective I'd like you to see is that the experiences of your life, the thoughts that you have, the intentions, the purpose that you think you're living under, the desires that are motivating you, the fears that are keeping you from doing certain things, those are all part of the package that you have assembled to create experiences for your soul through which you are evolving. And the purpose is the experience itself. It's not the accomplishment of the intention behind the experience. That is just a part of the motivating factors, the carrot, so to speak, that's dangled in front of you to get you to move forward along this path. Now, the focus that I want you to bring to this is not one of going whole hog down the spiritual path and saying, okay, I got to do all this to change myself, to transform myself, to address all these things within me that I see that need to be, that are make me less than what I want to be, or less than I could be. It's not about that. It's about seeing what you are and what's making you the way that you are, and then figuring out, well, why am I carrying this, and how can I use this experience to expand my consciousness, to adapt myself to the new surroundings, to empower myself to meet these energies of whatever it is I'm dealing with in new ways. Basically, you're an explorer in your own life that's trying to use these experiences to know more about yourself, to know and experience yourself. Ultimately, to lead you back, at least closer, toward the oneness that you've come from. This would be unity consciousness with God and all that is, or in Christian parlance, going to heaven, or to some afterlife. This is the journey of your soul, the process of its evolution over this life, and if you believe in reincarnation, which I do, that you evolve through the course of the different lifetimes that you have, each one bringing different perspectives, different energies, different experiences, which move you closer toward the light. The light is what's calling you home. The light is what's going to guide you there. It's important to understand that this light isn't like turning on a light bulb and you see it in this bright, shining object, though to some people it does appear that way. It's more of a flow of energy, a flow of intelligence that is coming to you to illuminate not only the path ahead, but the conditions within you and within your world with which you must interact. And it's this interaction, the interaction of your inner world with your outer world and the impact of each upon the other, that you're actually learning from through your experiences. So as you move forward on the spiritual path, the path of turning toward whatever you sense is out there or in there that is more than you know, and exploring that and creating a space for it within you and within your life. This is the spiritual path I speak of. I'm not speaking of a spiritual path as in following the path of the Buddhists or the Christians or anyone else, though these are all wonderful paths and methods to help you with this exploration, to lead you forward and to help you adapt yourself and transform basically to moderate the ego, to sand off the rough edges that don't serve you on this journey. I'm having trouble knowing where to look here. I've been looking over here to the side, which is where I think the camera is, so I should be looking at you directly. But then when I turn and I look at myself in the camera, it has me looking somewhere other than directly at you. But it's easier for me to talk to myself, looking at myself, than it is to be looking at this little black dot on the side of the screen here. Anyway, this is the purpose of what we're going to start doing these podcasts about. Not podcasts, these video recordings. I don't know that they're ever going to be seen by anyone other than me. I don't even know that I will look at them again. But I want to start getting in the habit of memorializing these concepts in a form that those who stumble across them and that are interested in my work will be able to follow the breadcrumbs, so to speak. And if they want them, fine. But my thing is, I have to stop the chasing of trying to find the people to do that. So I am going to speak as if I'm speaking to a future generation that is not yet born, that is going to want to understand their spiritual journey in a world that is getting more and more and more convoluted as all the old beliefs and systems are being challenged and turned on their heads. And so we're in this time of massive conflict everywhere we go, everywhere we turn. And this is working toward the Armageddon, where the conflicts are are everywhere to threaten our own destruction. But the biggest conflicts that we're going to be dealing with are the ones inside of us, and the ones where we interact with the world around us that's trying to get us to do something other than what we want or choose to do. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I wanted to put this out as a somewhat of a test to check our video and to check the audio. I have a selfie stick I'll try to use for future productions. But again, right now I'm not really organized in my thoughts. I'm sitting here about 8 o'clock in the morning trying to test whether this is going to be an appropriate format. But in the event you are seeing this, understand that it's all about you and where you fit in to this world that you're in. Me, I don't feel like I fit into this world. I'm here, but I'm not part of it. In these last 20 years, there's been more and more and more separation, and my efforts to get out, to take this message out, have been stymied. I've been told timelines shifted. Who knows? All I know is whatever I've done hasn't been enough to take this message to the world. So I have to assume that the world it is intended for is not yet here. It may never be here. But if some of you stumble across my messages, understand that I love you, and I will see you on the other side, because we are all one. There is only one. And the sooner you realize it, and the sooner that oneness begins to call you, the faster your transmutation of these inner conditions will occur to begin to align you with what is required to take you there. But it is not a conscious, intentional effort to change yourself. It is more a byproduct of the experiences that you're getting. And if you're focused on the spiritual path, then you're creating certain types of experiences for yourself. So just be aware that it's about the experience. It's not about the result. Focus on your experience. What is it bringing you? Now, I'm not talking about the outer result. I'm talking about what is the value to your soul of the experience that you're getting now. What are the energies that you had to meet in getting that experience? What did you have to do to create the experience? And how did your actions impact the way it played out? And most of all, how are you going to process the experiences that you get, and what are you going to do with them now that you know what you think you know? Again, what you think you know is not necessarily what is. There is always more. God bless you indeed. We'll talk again.